Hi, my name's Natalie, and today my speech is going to be about thrifting and like the new growth of the thrifting world and how it's saving our planet. Like a lot of people that I know, when I have clothes laying around and it's like too much, or like they're items that I don't really wear anymore, if I know no one else like that I know of would want the clothes or like have use for it, I tend to just throw them away because I don't want to deal with them. I know there's a lot of like donation places and a lot of drop off like bins. They recently just started doing that, but before, like, I would just kind of throw them away if they're just taking up space. And also, I tend to buy things just because sometimes they're on sale. I'm sure like other people, like I'm sure you've done it, like I literally see a sale and I'm like, oh my gosh, like these items are never like at this price, so I need to buy it, and sometimes I don't even end up using it. So a lot of people like me also don't realize that millions and tons of these clothes end up in our landfills every year. I took an English class last semester, and this is the reason why I wanted to do the thrifting, because in my English course I needed to like research like one of the topics, and the topic I chose is how our clothes end up in landfills every single year and how it's damaging to our planet. So I did a whole paper about it. And it causes long-term effects, like not just like, oh, you throw it away and you're never going to see it again. I started thrifting about 2 years ago. Also, if I'm looking over here, I have my paper. I started thrifting 2 years ago because I wanted to stretch my money. Also, with being in college, like, I know, like, I don't really want to waste my money, you know? So, also with gas being expensive now, so I started to pick up on it. A lot of my friends were doing it, so I was like, okay, I'll try. I quickly started to learn that I could buy, like secondhand things, and it will help with the consumer waste because someone already bought it, you know, and they don't want to use it anymore, so you buy it, so that way you technically didn't pay for the new one, if that makes sense. I believe that thrifting started to become popular because a lot of people were going to thrift stores and finding things that were like you can't find, or they don't make them anymore. They call it dead stock, but like it's like stuff that you can't find anymore, and a lot of people were like posting about it. I also think it became more popular because people are now beginning to understand how harmful us throwing away clothes is to the environment. What I was saying is thrifting gives clothes or items that have been like used just a little bit but still have life to them a second life, a second type of life, you know, like if you don't want to use it, maybe someone else has a need for it. So I put here, by buying secondhand, it keeps usable items out of our landfills. I found this on Goodwill. I used a lot of sources that are like thrift friendly. I did have trouble because a lot of them were getting deleted, so I kind of had to redo some of them, so bear with me. So this one was from the Goodwill Institute. You know, before all the apps and stuff, Goodwill was the thrift store, like to go to, right? I know there's other ones, but that's the only one that I know of, like in my area. So this keeps, you know, from clothes entering our landfills. And every year, millions of pounds of clothes are dumped or thrown away, even though those items still have use and could be given to someone else that might want them. I think that reusing clothes and items that are still in good condition reduces the need to produce new products. When people, I put here, like when people opt to buy secondhand items, companies, you know, they don't have the demand for it, so they don't produce as much of it, which helps the environment. Also, reusing, reusing clothes, like giving them a second life, and other items, because I know it's not just clothes, some people sell shoes and stuff like that, that are still in good condition. Thrifting also helps conserve our natural resources. Like I stated before, if fewer clothes are being made, that means less water and less energy is being used. So I put here, like for example, a single cotton t-shirt requires a large amount of water and energy during its production process, which I didn't even know that. I don't know what I thought, how they made clothes. I didn't really think about it. But now imagine if that's one shirt. Like, they use a lot of energy just for one shirt and water. Now imagine making 500, which is probably less than what these companies are producing. Like, I know they're producing millions of thousands of clothes. But to them, they don't really see it like that because they're making a profit. Opting to shop secondhand helps reduce these pollution textiles waste by expanding the life of the clothing. They help reduce the pollution made also by the fashion industry. Since the fashion industry comes out with a lot of new trends, this causes like the epidemic of fast fashion to happen, because when like companies see that a certain item of clothing is super popular, they want to fastly make it. Like they don't waste no time. And sometimes the quality is super bad, but whatever will make the sale to them. My next point is thrifting has become a lot more popular because of social media. Like people, you know, buy and sell items and they'll post about it, or like they'll do like a thrifting haul, and I think that went like really viral, and people started being like, wow, like they could find really good items for really cheap, because a lot of these like stores and stuff like that, they sell things at a really expensive price, and sometimes the quality is not really all there. And I think what really changed the game is when apps like Depop and Poshmark and Mercari, I know a lot of people haven't heard about Mercari, but they allow people to buy and sell like secondhand items literally from anywhere. So anyone could just go and see what they want and click the item and just buy it, instead of going to in-person thrift stores, because I know nowadays a lot of people don't really go out to go shopping. A lot of the malls have been shut down because of that. And also, sometimes these items are new. Like, they're not even used. Like, sometimes they probably didn't return it in time, and they can't get their money back, so they're like, oh, I'll just sell it, see what I can make off of it. Those communities tend to keep growing because they're really convenient, and it's really good for the environment. I'll put here, like, social media platforms have helped in encouraging sustainability shopping. I know a lot of people on TikTok and social media talk about, like, the damages being done to our earth because of it. Also, in a lot of, like, my generation and younger generations, we are seeing more of it. There's many influencers who promote secondhand shopping, and how it can be good for their environment. I know a lot of people think that they can't make a difference because we're just one person, but if you're making that decision and a lot of people are also starting to make those decisions, it goes a long way. Like, I know it seems like it doesn't, but it really does. And before, you would have to go in person to thrift because, like, those online platforms didn't exist. A lot of garage sales, you just had to scavenge, I think that's the word, to find, like, thrift items. Like, oh, like, people who are moving, they'll start having yard sales, stuff like that, but it was never a guarantee you're going to get, like, something or you're going to find something. But when you look it up, there's always, like, a bunch of listings. And I think that this also came to be with the resellers is ever since COVID, because a lot of people don't go out. Like, a lot of people also are afraid of getting sick. Like, so I think after that happened, a lot of things like this came to an effect. And also, it is so convenient now to do it that everyone is doing it. So in total, like, in my conclusion, today, like, I informed you about how, like, fast fashion or fashion industry harms our environment, how thrifting reduces those wastes, and how it's helpful that now that we can resell items, that they get a second home. I believe that thrifting is more than just saving money. I think you could find, like, really unique items. Like, I saw the other day that there was, like, this 2000s lamp. It was, like, sparkly, and it was, like, a spiral, and it had little beads on it, and it was going for, like, $1,000, and back then I think they sold it for, like, $20. So you could find a lot of cool things. Like, and the cool thing about it is, like, they probably made a bunch of those lamps, but people probably got rid of them, or they broke, or they're in the trash. So, like, you're kind of, like, owning a unique item, you know? So I think that there's a lot of, like, uniqueness to it, not just saving the planet, but obviously, ultimately, that's what we want to do, like, to save our environment, also for future generations. And I think it's a simple way that people can help reduce pollution and conserve resources to protect our environment, because if we're using so much water, so much, like, energy, like, over time, we're probably not going to have any, because not only do we use it for, like, clothes, we use it for everything. We burn energy every day. You know, our cars, they pollute our earth. A lot of people are going electric now, but still. So the next time, like, you decide to walk by a thrift store, or, like, maybe go to the app store, and you could download Depop, and you could download Poshmark, remember that choosing a secondhand option, you're already helping our planet by doing that. So overall, if one person chooses to make one difference, and everyone also, like, decides, I'm going to try to make a more sustainable choice, that's all we need. And that will really, really help our planet in long term. And yeah, that was all for my speech. Thank you.